Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you for watching this video. For those of you who are going to be watching this video later on after it's gone live, today is very special for a variety of reasons. Number one, this is obviously the Sunday live video, but number two, this is personally my last Facebook live video of the year. We're still gonna have our Sunday live video for the rest of the year, but it's gonna be with Karen Dubin McKnight, um, or who's going to be doing that for the next two Sundays of the year, or even actually the first Sunday of 2019. That's number two. But number three, today I would like us to talk about a different topic, not anything clinical, not anything around professional or personal development, but something that's um, very near, close to my heart, to the heart of the whole sweet team, and I'm sure to your heart, which is about the vision of sweet. I think it is very important as we are finishing this year, starting a new one, for us to have that conversation with you, even though I am the only one talking. But at least as I you hearing those words, you may be able to think through with me about what sweet is all about, what really sweet is willing to accomplish, and how you can be part of that, for also that all of us can really make that vision a possibility. So number one, as you may know, we do believe that empowerment, which means having the courage, having the opportunity to actually make a decision, to actually do something to better ourselves and that of the patients and clients we serve with, that of our loved ones and people around us, is very important. I'm going to tell you something very personal. I was born and raised in a country where a lot of aid has been given to this country. And it's been shown between 1980 to 2010, the country has seen uh, hundreds of new additional health organizations in this country. However, this is what has been shown. It's been shown also that country has gotten poorer and poorer and poorer. What is this about? Well, it is no fault of anyone. It is the process of giving a fish, as opposed to teaching individuals how to fish. What happens is that if I give you a fish today, you're gonna expect obviously me to give you a fish the next day, and when I no longer have a fish, I don't have a fish to give you, you don't have a fish either. But if I go ahead and teach you how to fish, you no longer need me to give you a fish the next day. Therefore, I'll be able to go and teach other people how to fish. But secondly, you're not only going to have a fish for yourself, but you're also going to be able to teach other people how to fish, and even share your fish. That is actually one of the most important idea of the Sweet Institute, empowerment. That's the central key, and in fact, this is our slogan: be empowered, feel empowered. Now, I just explained why that is important. And the second thing is, how are we trying to accomplish that? We are trying, working on accomplishing this level of empowerment through different ways. Number one, I have to tell you that the vision of Sweet is actually to touch the lives of 1 billion people throughout the world, right? Yes, very grandiose vision, and we are very proud of this, because just like Steve Jobs has had to say, and also Jeff Bezos from Amazon said, only those who are like just crazy enough to think that they can touch so many people's lives are those people who really can do that. However, I have to tell you, we're not going to be able to do that by ourselves. We're not going to be able to do that alone, right? So that's one of the reasons why how we are working on accomplishing this vision of suite of touching 1 billion of lives is number one, by working with those individuals who work with other people. In other words, those of us in the helping profession, regardless of what your background is, we're talking about whether we're talking about social workers, licensed mental health counselors, nurses, psychologists, psychiatrists, primary care physicians, neurologists, whoever you are. And in fact, sometimes some people wonder about outside of the clinical. We're not there yet, but at least so far, we believe that anyone who are in the helping profession, advocates, those working with justice involved individuals, individuals who are homeless, who are really stigmatized, discriminated against, those who substance use disorder, but also individuals who've gone through trauma and loss, individuals who really need some form of empowerment. Then we're working with those people, working with them clinicians to actually empower one another so that we can go and empower others. Now, how are we doing that with our clinicians? As you know, empowerment takes place from different ways, different areas. And what we are talking about right now, we're talking about education. That's what SWEET stands for. Supporting well-being through empowerment, education, and training. Now, we do believe that education makes a difference. And we do also believe that it needs to be a different type of education, because education alone is not enough, but education that empowers, education that forces us to take action, education that forces us to go ahead, that really help us feel inspired and help go and make something happen. That's exactly what we're talking about at Sweet. That's one of the reasons why we look at the latest adult learning theories. We're saying what exactly is one way we can actually help one another, clinicians, all of those in the helping profession, working with other people. How can we learn in the way that we are ready to implement, ready to take action, feel inspired, and ready to go and empower other people? That how we came up with the sweet paradigm that is made of the following 5 pillars in everything we do, whether it's in-person seminar, whether it's webinar, whether it's group supervision, whether it's coaching, group or individual coaching, whether it's actually even in our way of doing things, we try to look at number one, the first pillar, which is the Socratic method. Asking a question. We are really making sure that we all of us remember and understand that each time we ask a question, we are forcing our brain to really, we're stimulating our brain to really problem solve, to come up with a solution for us. And we are tapping into our deepest knowledge and really aptitude to really be able to get some new knowledge, and that's the Socratic method. And through the Socratic method we go from superficial to actually what we call deeper knowledge, because that's another way for us to feel empowered, is to go from superficial knowledge to deeper knowledge, right? Knowledge that inspires, knowledge that moves us to action. From Socratic method, we actually do the collective learning. Do you know what we do that? Because we believe none of us alone cannot accomplish it all. None of us alone cannot do it all. That's one of the reasons we said our vision is to touch 1 billion lives throughout the world, through our seminar, through our videos, through our books, but also through all of us clinicians who work together, so that when one clinician goes and actually touches the lives of 10, 20, 50, and those 50 people go and actually touch the lives of their loved ones and other people, that's the ripple effect that we are looking for. So the collective learning is the second pillar. The third pillar is the desire method, being able to really help us get the information in the way that helps us really ready to go and implement it, because it goes from the short-term memory to long-term memory. The fourth pillar is what we call critical thinking in clinical care. That is extremely important, because as we always say, unfortunately, thinking is not as easy as many people think. I'm not saying ruminating. We may have a lot of thoughts in our head over and over, but it does not mean we are thinking. Thinking is actually a mental activity that it really requires our frontal lobe to really make that happen. And we actually learn to think together, thinking critically, thinking, looking at as if we are problem solving, looking at things from different dimensions. This is one way we can really make sure we have that idea of empowerment, when we can think critically, think on our feet, think on our own. And we do that in our seminar and everywhere through our sweet formula, which itself is made of looking at the why. We always look at the why we're doing things. We look at the how in each seminar and webinar, and we look at the principles, we look at the techniques, we look at the do's and don'ts and steps, and then we look at the what and then what. That's really how we come up with the critical thinking in clinical care. And lastly, in our the fifth part of our suite paradigm is what we call empowerment. In other words, we actually make sure that we not only wait for people with us to feel inspired, but we make sure that we inspire one another while we're doing that. So this is actually the vision of the Sweet Institute, and that's really one of how we're trying to accomplish that. Again, Sweet is supporting well-being through empowerment, education, and training. And we say that we are going to be empower those people who want to empower by empowering those who are working with them, us, our clinicians. We are starting with social workers, because we're talking about empowerment. We know that the social work colleagues have a lot that they're doing. And unfortunately, I can tell you, I myself, as a psychiatrist, I do know that a lot of the work that many of our social work colleagues are doing, they're not as appreciated, right? They're being asked to do much more with much less every time. And that's one of the reasons why, if we really serious about empowerment, we really need to look at really our group of social work colleagues. And Karen, who's a social worker, who really he's spearheading this project around really providing that community for all our social work colleagues. And we are also already working with our mental health counselor colleagues. We work with also some psychologist colleagues already. We're working with several psychiatrist colleagues also, and we're also working with several other nurse practitioners and nurses already. So as we say in all this, I would like to tell you what we've already done, and so that we are going to finish this video today. What we've done already is the following. We have started our in-person seminars. We have started our webinars, because many people, many clinicians tell us how it's hard sometimes to find the time off for to really come to our seminars. Number one. Number two, because our seminars we need to pay space and provide for so many other materials, then it actually it's hard for them to actually pay the money right away, or even get reimbursed right away when they come. And because we are talking about empowerment, we are talking about best way to actually provide these types of services or resources to all of us together, clinicians, then that's how we come up with the idea of the webinar, making sure that we translate all of the seminar paradigm and formula for the suite into the webinar. We still having our seminar, but we also have the webinar. And then we go further. We start with the membership. The membership, $9 a month, which with starting next year it's gonna be a little bit more, but with $9 a month, members have at least two webinars a month for free. Each webinar by itself is $30, right? So two webinars by itself on itself, and then we do have a lot of members who actually have been able to take advantage to many more than two webinars a month. Actually, we Karen and I think we quickly talk about the fact that we had one member, for example, she registered, and that same day she registered for 7 webinars, right? So that's good. We were happy because the idea is for all of us to actually get the resources. We also started a different type of webinar, which is a webinar on mindset. This is the idea of making sure that we not only paying attention to clinical skills, but we're paying attention to something that's even bigger and better than the clinical skills, because it's gonna be able to help us get even more clinical skills. So that's our actually mindset webinar. And then we also have start to have our books. We actually, one of our books is the Journey to Empowerment. It's on Amazon, Kindle, and paperback. Another books we is also what we have, which is knowing your self-worth, how to really feel fulfilled. And then we have other books. We actually have already have 11 books completed. 8 of them are being edited. 2 of them are already published, and the third one is actually getting ready to be published. This is the idea of empowerment. This is the idea of making sure that all of us can actually really bring eyes, ears, mouth, all our senses, our courage, our really skills and talents together to actually help really us move forward together as a group. So when we say that, we're also talking about best way for us again to empower 1 billion people around the world is to empower, help empower, see empowered the number of people who work with them throughout the world. And as a result, we would like to say that best way for us to do that is to make sure that we work with all our clinicians to make sure that they find their passion, find their strengths, marry them together so that actually they can go ahead and really continue to empower others. And this is really why starting next year in January, we're going to make sure that we have our community of members, regular meetings where we're going to really strengthen that community, have people think about their passion, think about their ideas, think about their strength, and how they can even really work with other members to really put those together. So we're talking about the idea of putting our mind together to make that happen. And we have our group supervision, which is around clinical, but we have we're going to already also start our group coaching in the same area. So before we go on and we're almost done, we would like to really say good thank you, Wood Sherry, for joining us. Josie Perd, thank you for joining us, for your support. Cristina Santiago, hola, hola, gracias. ¿Cómo está? Cristi, ¿cómo está? Gracias por estar aquí. So we would like to end by telling you the following. What matters is the vision. The mission gets amplified as we go. The mission is how we're going to go around making that vision happen. What we can say for sure, we are not going to stop until we reach that idea where all of us clinicians who are working with those who we are working on empowering get the resources needed, right, along with the agencies as well and the system as a whole in order to empower one another. So I would like to thank you once more for tuning in. Thank you to all of you who are already members. Those who are not members, reach out, learn as much as possible. Any questions you may have, let us know, so we can answer them, and then let us know how we can be the most helpful. We have one more seminar for the year. One more seminar for the year. And this seminar is on culture and cultural sensitivity, talking about what are gangs and those in jail and prison have their own subculture, but it goes beyond that. It goes, we're talking about substance use, subculture, how to determine all of those different types of cultures, how to be and remain culturally sensitive and competent. And then what about the different aspects of culture that we may have missed, we may have been taught in the wrong way. And then January, we are going to start again with our 2 seminars a month, at least 2 webinars a month. Many of our webinars may be 3 or 4 because we're going to have modules. We're going to continue with our group supervision. We're going to start our member monthly assembly. We already talked about that. We are also going to make sure we really start our group coaching. We're going to continue our individual coaching for every member. Every member who has a project they want to take on, they actually meet with me and Karen, actually complimentary or free to actually help them get started. And we would like to congratulate some members. One of our members is Carrie Micheli. Congratulations. You have actually got the courage to marry your passion with your strengths, and you have started this wonderful workshop on therapeutic writing. And I invite everyone who's listening to us to check that out. Therapeutic writing by one of our members is gonna be really regular on a regular basis, and we do have an introductory course coming up, I believe in January 10th, I believe. Check that out. Please reach out. We would like to congratulate another member of us, Michelle Craig. She's actually a hero. She's amazing. She already has her not-for-profit organization approved, and she has her 501c3, and she actually now is working on really starting fundraising. She wants to change the way services are provided to those involved in the criminal justice system with mental illness. This is it. So this is the idea of empowerment, where as we empower one another, one person goes and empower more and 100 and 1,000. That's how we're gonna get to that empowerment of 1 billion people around the world. That's the idea. We would like to also celebrate with our third member, who is Evan Lawrence, also working on a great project where he's actually using again his passion and strength, looking at really the idea of physical health with fitness and yoga and meditation, but for physical fitness. So this is really great. Those are some examples of many other members of us who we working together to actually really carry that idea that they have in the same vision of empowerment. Thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with us throughout the whole year. We've made mistakes. We're going to continue to make more mistakes because that's how we learn. But thank you for allowing us to make mistakes. Thank you for really hanging in there with us. Thank you for supporting us, for sharing our posts, for really supporting to see our posts over and over, for sharing our videos, for really letting others know that there is something they can learn. There is a way they can grow. There is a way they can actually empower themselves and empower others. Talking about sharing, we have one post we started on Facebook. Anybody who shares this post, this is about the upcoming seminar, will actually have a chance to win a seat to our last seminar of the year. Check it out. Let others know. So we hope you're gonna share that post and get that chance to win. And remember, our books, if you like them, go ahead and they may make some good gifts. I have to tell you, a lot of people tell me those books have been very helpful to them. They've been reading them. They read them through Kindle. Some of them Kindle Unlimited, where it's free for them. And the idea is empowerment, empowerment, empowerment. Thank you again. I would like to continue, but we're gonna stop. Again, I will see you next year. But remember, next Sunday we have gonna continue with our Facebook Live. It's gonna be with Karen to midnight, working extremely hard, to really bring everything you have for Sweet. Special thanks to Maria, who is the person behind the website, the illustration of the articles, the person behind the illustration of the books. So she's doing a lot of work. Many thanks for Roger. Is the person behind the editing of the articles and the books as well. But I have to tell you, so Karen as the COO has her hands in everything. So customer service right now is great thanks to Karen. The webinar are great thanks to her, and she's really the seminar. So she's doing a lot, and I think this has been a great blessing to have her as a partner in this, and the rest of the leadership as well. So 4 people behind the door and behind the scene, but a lot of work. Many thanks to also one of our um, staff, a team member, Allison, again, who recently got her PhD. She defended her thesis, so we'd like to acknowledge her. And also many thanks to many other team members we studied with. Holly is a really great giant, and she's been busy, but she's been there. And we have also Dimitri, was currently in Hawaii, but he's been there whenever we needed him. And we would like to thank everybody, our interns. You know yourself. We acknowledge you, current interns, previous interns. So we'd like to thank you. We love you. We look forward to a really great year together. 2019 is going to be great. We have moved fast. Yes, 2016 we started, 2017 actually we started. It sounds like it 2016. And we've done a lot. 2019 is going to be even faster. Do you know why? Because of the heart. We have our heart in the right place, and having your right or the heart in the right place means you just gonna have to go, and we hope you're gonna join us so that we can do that work together. We love you very much. Happy holidays. It doesn't matter what festivity you are celebrating. We wish you happy holidays. Make it great with your family, with your loved ones, with the people you serve. At the end of the day, we actually love, and we want peace, we want joy, we want happiness. Behind everything, we are looking. Those are the things we actually are behind them. That's one of the reasons why each time every one of our members tells us what they want, we ask them why. That's the second question of the cow, the 10 commandments to ask for what we want. One of the sweet signature of the Socratic motivation of practice model that Sweet has created. Why? Because if you know the why, you realize that most likely it will have to do with some form of feeling good, happiness, peace, love, joy, and you can start now. You can start now. We can start now by sharing, by joining, by being around like-minded individuals in the right community. We love you.